Everyone, it's grand finals time. Cloud9 unemployed for Christmas. It's kind of a feels bad, but you know what? Maybe they'll feel good, man. If they can beat Cloud9. I am Seaside, joining me is Dust. And before we get into it, and before we give our predictions, I want everyone at home to get a chance to give their predictions.
Ooh.
You know what? It's fun. Why not? Not only just typing in chat, going to the link, I believe it's cyberpower.com/Sivo/predictions. Something like that.
It's on stream.
It's on stream.
Yeah, there you go.
Something like that.
Something
Get your
like
predictions in. It's your last chance to get a prediction in. Although I'm already sitting at 7th place, I think I lost, which kind of sucks. Someone's gotten every prediction right, so you should probably come replace me.
I've got every prediction right. But
Moving
I
on.
wasn't playing.
Yep.
I want to give all the people at
Should've
home
been
a chance to win, Keith, you know? Trying to let them have at it.
But I can win too.
Yeah, true. Go ahead.
Also, giveaway, last chance, close to last chance. Actually, it's probably going on after the event's over for a little bit. But just because you'll forget about it, we're going to call this last opportunity, last BO3 chance, last time for us to remind you to get in for the giveaway. So you should do that too. Now, moving on. C9 UFC. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to just predict Cloud9 and 2-0 this series. I mean, we do already have the vetoes taken care of. It is going to be Mirage as the first map being played. It is the pick of Cloud9. They are one of the best Mirage teams in the world right now, probably. Certainly the best in North America on this map, and it's going to be able to come through. Meanwhile, we haven't even seen this 5 of UFC play Mirage yet this tournament, I don't think. At least I don't remember commentating them on this map. I know last series they won in overtime on Cash and Inferno against Splice to make it here. Obviously, Cloud9 made quick work of Soar in the semifinals to make it here in their own right. And that is how it stacks up. And then second map is going to be the pick of UFC. They have selected Inferno. Again, we did see them win that in overtime against Splice not too long ago to make their way here. Then the third map, if needed, is going to be Train. And again, it's just hard not to predict Cloud9 to just 2-0 the series. They're a known value. They're clearly at the top of the ladder when it comes to teams from North America. Obviously, SK competes in NA, and they're probably still considered the best team from our region that competes here. But Cloud9 would certainly then just be like number 2 below them at that point. So yeah, again, 2-0 should be theirs. There's really no other way to shake it.
There's more than one way to shake it. I think UFC might be able to win this. That's another way you can shake it. Now, vetoes. It was funny enough, someone told MCE in last series that Train was C9's best map, so they banned Train. And then they ended up getting 16-1'd.
I would say Mirage is definitely Cloud9's best map. I think Train is a strong map for them. Here's the thing. Cloud9 are pretty good on every map when it comes to online play in North America. They don't have a map they have a negative record on. Usually they have like more than double the wins than losses on most of the maps they've played in online play. So it's really hard to pick a direction to go against them and within the region. So take a look at the Cloud9 lineup. You can see that everyone's been doing pretty good. It's actually crazy to see Stewie's actually -1 KD. But with so many heavy hitters on this team, if someone takes a day off, there's usually someone that can fill in their shoes pretty well. And obviously Skadoodle and Tarek in particular have had really good tournaments leading up to this point. And grant they're playing against a lot lesser competition than what they're used to. I mean, this is a team that's been, you know, placing top 4 at some big international events like IEM Oakland and E-League Premier. They've obviously won some events within North America at Power Masters and DreamHack Denver. So they've been able to perform against some of the best teams in the world, and they're in a tournament now that really didn't have any other big names involved except for Cloud9, as a couple other teams are, you know, getting prepared for EPL finals and other events coming up, so they weren't able to attend this event. So it's been kind of easy pickings for Cloud9 so far, but we'll see if UFC can't at least put up a little bit of a fight. We take a look at their lineup now.
Yeah, we get to take a look at this lineup. I mean, it's a feels bad, man, but they're in the money. They'd like more money, of course.
Right.
For booze.
Or whatever. Christmas presents for their friends and family since they're unemployed.
Exotic is +40, man. This guy is coming out swinging in this tournament, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's an interesting lineup, obviously. I mean, they've had to bring in 2 stand-ins who may or may not be people they play with long-term. Hard to know. I think they're just kind of trialing it, see how it goes. Apparently, Cutler, Kusta, and Ethan want to stick together, but I'm also informed that Ethan is also exploring options. So who knows if this team will ride it out long-term. But so far, Exotic has been pretty impressive. He's actually taken up a lot of the opping duties, as Kusta's actually stepped down from opting on this team. He still does it in double op setups that I've seen, but Exotic has been the primary op throughout all the games in this tournament. Apparently, Kusta is also doing the bulk of the in-game leading
I found
for
that
this
strange.
tournament. Certainly, as I did as well, I figured it would have been Cutler if I was going to make an assumption, but it turns out it is going to be Kusta. And then again, obviously, Exotic and Rix are kind of stand-ins, tryouts, whatever they are for this 5 going forward. So not only do they have the moving parts working against them, bringing in 2 new players, but they also are doing some role swapping. But we've seen Exotic and Ethan perform really well so far throughout this tournament. Certainly, Ethan was expected to perform pretty well, but Exotic has definitely been impressive, and he's like another young guy that maybe people have eyes on going forward. And like you said, I mean, they don't really have any pressure against them. They've already made it further, maybe what people have expected. I personally thought Spice had a pretty good chance to beat him in the semifinals, but didn't happen that way. And now we're here.
That was my Splice noise.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, it's a rough go. I love the boys, but man, they got to be a little... Honestly, they're going to Malaysia soon, aren't they? For what tournament are they doing?
Yeah, Asus, ROG.
Yeah, so they can't be too bothered. It's an online cup. They made it 3rd place, or tied for 3rd, right? So,
yeah.
Could be
and
worse.
they have looked a little bit better lately as well. It seems like recently they've been getting a little bit stronger. They just need to tidy up some mistakes as we take a look at a couple of players that are going to be featured in this game. As you can see, the stats from this tournament. These are like 2 of the big playmakers for each team, I think is fair to say. Obviously, Cloud9's full of playmakers. A lot of aggressive riflers on that team, but Stewie certainly has that history of being like one of the NA star players. He hasn't played super strong in this tournament, but when you look at the stats of every other player that's on his team this tournament, he hasn't really had to do a whole lot. He's going up against Ethan, who again is kind of like the pride of CLG. He was probably their most consistent fragger. He's very young. He seems to have like a bright future ahead. So these are definitely 2 names to keep an eye on as we get live with map 1.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your cans in the air. It's UFC versus Cloud9. Is it going to be a feels good man story, or is it going to be C9 winning? What is this, their 3rd in a row, CyberPower? Something stupid.
Yeah.
Some silly number that they've won in a row. Not only this, but the other cups that are online that they get.
Yeah, they were first in ECS. They won DreamHack Denver. They won CyberPower Masters. Obviously, EPL didn't go so well, but that's been going on for months. And some of those games, they had to use their coach and didn't have their 5 solidified. So that's a little bit harder to read. But yeah, it's been a lot of success lately for Cloud9. That's certainly the case. They want to keep that going. To see them just kind of setting up passively at middle, using Stewie kind of probe around underpass. And actually, Rix is going to get aggressive at B apartments, but Skadoodle is waiting for him, and he and Stewie will connect to try to put him down. But actually, Rix somehow escapes.
What?
With 70 HP at that. So he's actually gained some information on some positioning and didn't really get punished too hard for it. Like, I would have thought he would have died there for sure.
Well, C9 not going to give too much chase, and he's even going to hold for another angle. He's going to try and fight this. Ronnie's re-pushing. He's a man of glimpses of wisdom and insanity, as finally, he will get punished for that aggression. Scooter will take him down. They will waltz into the B-bomb site. And Exotic, try as he may, there's not much you can really do. He'll call for rotations. Kusta, keep in mind, has a smoke kit. So he's going to be heading towards Catwalk. They're going to wait till these players in Cat are in position, and then they are going to go. And already it's automatic to find both Catwalk. Stewie taps him. Scooter finds the last. You blink, you miss it, and good thing I don't blink.
Yeah, that's about as clean of a victory as you can get. Cloud9 only losing a total of 48 HP amongst all 5 of their players in that round, so they were able to capture B once they got rid of Rix, who did definitely hang around a lot longer than I expected. They were able to just kind of shut everything down, cutting off all the rotations. No real chance at a retake for UFC. And Cloud9 will, of course, be getting the AKs out. A couple of Galils as well. A little bit of utility. All head armored. Just a deco here for UFC. No armor behind this. Just trying to save up their money for the opening gun round. Looks like they want to go straight to double op as well. The fact that Kusta only has a USP, didn't even upgrade his pistol, leads me to believe they might want to go double op right away. But we'll see.
It's on the table. C9 will slowly but surely gain this lovely mid control as it's a stack as we can see. On towards the A site, leaving just Exotic alone towards B. But it's looking more and more likely that that bomb's going to rotate all the way around through T spawn and go towards A main.
Yeah, this is about as default as it gets for Cloud9. You know, Rush working outside A, Stewie kind of working the underpass, Rest working top mid. But as you said, that bomb's now pivoting over towards A ramp. Stewie does have control of connector. And so an A split certainly seems to be on the horizon.
Stewie will clear this corner. You imagine taking the tap, and there you have it. Color's actually going to get the best of him. He gets both of these players with his Deagle. That's Kusta and Sandwich catches Rush, and all of a sudden, They have rifles to work with, and Skadoodle needs to wait for Automatic to get into position. But he hangs on with his rifle, showing you his AK can stand its own. It is against unarmored opponents. But those are two big frags to get. Exotic holding the cross on 25, no time to run back. And not a lot more time to give to Automatic. And Exotic, if he can catch his bomb, there's a chance. It's going to double peek him, and it's a lovely double peek. Skadoodle stays alive, will get himself a little 300 cheeky dollars. As C9 will get the 2-0.
Not bad for UFC. Cutler getting a couple kills with the Deagle and Connector. Gave themselves a chance to win, but at the end of the day, no armor, so it's going to be a lot harder for them to take fights. And Skadoodle always been very good in clutch situations. He finds himself in a lot of late round scenarios because of kind of his more passive role in the team, given the amount of aggro riflers are on C9. So he does find himself in 1vx's or small numbers a lot, and he usually does pretty well. Was able to save the day in that one. As again, UFC onto essentially a full save. There are a couple of P250 sprinkled around. Cutler does have a dig, but again, really saving up for that real first buy round, making sure they get a really good buy there. As again, it's very default for Cloud9, and I'll say this: Cloud9 usually aren't a default team. They usually like to do fast-paced executes on this map. They usually love to just work quickly, but they've been a lot slower and more patient in some of these anti-eco rounds. I'm not sure this will carry over, though. I feel like when the rifle rounds start, you're going to see Cloud9 picking up the pace, but they could be looking to kind of expand their game and be able to, you know, be diverse in their pacing. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it.
Cutler with the dirty dig again. Well, alrighty there, Cutler. Didn't look like he was a Deagle player. Clearly proving me wrong. That's Kusta. Will kiss Tarek. Again, that's 2 rounds in a row as USP has gotten a kill. And he'll escape with an AK. C9. Just getting caught out by the awkward positions of UFC. Another USP kill. It's Exotic who picks up that AK and finds 2. And it's just Skadoodle to clutch with an AK, tagged a 16, and bagged by a P250. That's a round you don't see C9 lose often. Awkward positions,
not at all.
I guess.
It's also just being a little bit sloppy. I feel like they were just feeding a lot of 1v1 battles to these unemployed members. Like, you know, Tarek trying to come to the smoke at stairs, a guy right there with the pistol, free frag for him. There was a lot of free kills that happened just off of C9 being a little bit, maybe overly cautious. Like, I feel like that's one of the round where you just kind of, you would just want to bunch up and want to do something fast and just make sure you trade off of each other. I mean, you're going up against a bunch of unarmored opponents. As long as you're together and you're trading, you should more often than not win those fights. You should be overwhelming them. But instead, they kind of went a little bit one by one and kind of trickled in, and it gave UFC a chance, and they win that. And look, they got 4 free guns. There's 4 AKs being carried over for UFC. They don't have to spend any money to get these rifles. Gives them plenty of money to just buy utility instead, and it means that they can save their money for, you know, a rainy day. Meanwhile, Cloud9 are going to be picking up the pace, kind of as we noted earlier, looking to get a connector quickly.
Cutler, maybe in a world of hurt. They're about to bust through that smoke and connector, fly under balcony, and Cutler will get caught out. It's a rush to clean it up. They'll push forward and get window room control, plus jungle. This is a hard retake for UFC. Without having window or jungle control, it makes retaking just from CT extremely difficult.
Yeah, you can see 3 of them just bunched up here, all trying to fight from tick. They do have a flank coming in from Rick, so that could maybe open something up. We'll see.
Coming in, Ethan dodges the flash as Automatic's doing a lovely job of baiting and keeping them honest. Skadoodle pops the skull of Ethan as Kusto pick up his position and eat some damage himself. He gets the molly out. Drix has taken his sweet darn ass time coming in through Palace.
Yeah, way too slow.
Yeah.
Way too slow to have a chance.
I didn't want to say the A word, but you know what? It had to be said. I mean, this dude took forever to get into this position. And perhaps UFC didn't really want to go for it. And Rix was saying, you know what, let's just save. And his teammates kept fighting towards CT.
Yeah, it certainly felt that way, right? It felt like if they really wanted to go for it, that Rix was the ace up the sleeve. He was the guy that had to make a play. He was on a big flank. They didn't really have any, you kind of noted this, they didn't really have a way into jungle or connector. Like, Cloud9 did a really good job attacking from connector, maintaining those positions, and making sure that any CTs looking to retake were going to have to funnel through CT spawn. So yeah, Rix was really the one that was going to have to do something, and he was just way too far out. By the time he got there, everyone else was already fallen, so definitely not the best of coordination on retakes, but again, to be expected on a team that's had very limited time together as a 5, you'd imagine. And again, you don't even know if they're looking to play together long term. It was more of, hey, we have a spot for this tournament, we still have our core 3, so let's throw something together, basically, I think is the thought. as we did have a little bit of a technical pause coming. It looks like Exotic's ping is having some issues, but he's reconnected, and looks like his ping's starting to drop, so hopefully we should be getting this thing right back going, as we do have Cloud9 up 3-1. But again, USC has a lot of money because they had basically 4 free guns last round, so still able to get a good buy, and that double op does come out.
Well, Exotic's been impressing me, as Ethan will hold the secondary one. Now, that's actually a spawn-based thing. I think he either wants to pick A ramp or go connector. Well, Exotic has a little bit of an off-spawn for window, so I'm excited to see where Ethan's going to be heading with it. He is number 3 on your minimap. It looks like it is going to be an A ramp pick, so that's just purely what it was based on.
Well, the thing is, Kusta had a really good spawn to take an op somewhere. And usually you would have thought of Kusta being the secondary op, or even if Exotic's going to main it, you would think that Kusta would still, put one to use as well, but doesn't wind up happening that way. As they set up Exotic to watch B apartments, allows a little bit more freedom of Rix to kind of be more involved over towards middle, as he is going to be inside ladder room, trying to see if he can't defend against Cloud9's mid control, who are definitely lining up a smoke for window and looking to exercise control of this area and turn it into something. Rush actually playing really passive towards A. He's all the way in T-spawn. Kind of makes you feel like they want to do something more mid-B based at this point, as it is Rush actually coming into the apartments.
Broken, Molly behind Rix, Molly in front of him, and he gets caught. Lovely clear, actually. With breaking the vent through the smoke, knowing exactly where to throw that molly, and the secondary one, so Rix was kind of stuck, and he gets caught. As the op of Exotic gets spotted here towards Cat, he jumps sight, gets a pick, but he needs to stay alive, and he'll peek into his death. It's Skadoodle's anything else, his AK to find the opening, and he even finds the second. Skadoodle, I mean, he's having a banger of a tournament, to be honest. I mean, it's very early into this game, but he's still showing that he's got it. I mean, he's been on point even with rifles throughout this tournament.
Yeah, really well done by Cloud9. It's one of those things where, once Cloud9 gets mid control and they get that kill on the Rix and ladder, they realize that, hey, there's only one guy B, and they have the smoke up on connector, on stairs side, so there's really no way for players on A to get any vision. And for all the players that A know, they could be doing a mid-A split. They don't have any information there. They don't have mid control anymore, or no real vision on mid with Rix going down. Unless they push through A ramp or Palace, they don't really know who's sitting outside A either, so they can't really rotate. And then at that point, all the pressure's on Exotic because they can just storm up Cat with their connector smoke and just swarm him and just overwhelm him in the site, and that's exactly what happens. So UFC just have to look to save these guns. It will be Cutler and Ethan able to retain the AWP and M4, but Cloud9 are starting to build up a good lead here early in the half, and money is becoming low on UFC, so even though they've saved 2 guns, not a whole lot they can buy around it.
Are they going to go in? That's the question. It looks like it's reserved, knowing that they'll have that 3-round loss. So it's just Ethan with the op, Cutler with the M4. And C9 are going to go back to this mid-control. Very default, I think they love to do this. Very standard.
Yeah, I'm actually used to them doing more fast-paced executes early round. So the fact that they're playing a lot of more slow defaults is different. It also kind of illustrates the fact that some of these guys on Cloud9 had to make some sacrifices. Guys like Rush and Stewie used to be entry fraggers, respectively Stewie for Cloud9 and Rush for Optic, but you see both of them playing peripheral roles now. But once they actually go for the execute, these players still get into the mix. It can still be helpful in, entering, getting into a bomb site, so it doesn't necessarily matter, but it just kind of highlights some of the adjustments some of them have had to make to create this super team.
Stewie will catch Kusta, pushing out of B apps. He'll flash, and he's going to keep going. It looks like he wanted to. He is just going to turn around, see if anyone else was going to face him.
Actually, I think he just wanted to create pressure, kind of keep Rix in place, even force a rotation as well. This opens up a bomb site, makes it a little bit more vulnerable. Forces the defense to split up. So I actually like the idea he kind of put the pressure but didn't commit.
They'll flash over. Exotic is playing Ninja. Or actually, excuse me, Firebox. It's so similar on the map. As Automatic finds his teammate. Are they going to check Firebox? They're not. Exotic's set up for this knife. He will get the right click, pick up the AK, shoot his teammate. Can't find the player in sight. Cutler takes a bullet for his troubles, but still is able to find that bomb planter. And it's just Automatic. And look at this. Ethan's out of there. Exotic won that round for their team.
He really did. He got the bomb down. Like, Cloud9 took a long time committing to a bomb site there, so any one thing that went wrong was going to, you know, really derail them. They only had, I think, maybe like 12, 15 seconds when they actually started hitting A. So once Exotic gets the kill, I think there was only maybe 10 or 11 seconds left on the clock, so Cloud9 really had to scramble, and where the bomb fell at, it was out in the open, so they couldn't even quickly collect the bomb and plant and save cover after they traded out Exotic. They gave, I don't know who it was, he was on stairs, he was able to get the kill on Rush, he was going for the bomb, so yeah, the clock just became Cloud9's worst enemy in that round, and now you do see them looking to shift gears, as they're going to be going towards that trend they're more well known for, which are these fast-paced set pieces, as you see all the utility being lined up, as they start getting into the A-bomb site.
Ethan, does he go up, does he go down? He is just going to stay down and Rush check sandwich. Tarek gets caught jumping, and Ethan thought he killed him, but he will clean it up. Can he get the third? No, but damage is well dealt. Well dished out. As Cutler will stay behind the smokes, the bomb plant's actually going down in a rare spot front default. As all of a sudden, it's Skidoo with an automatic. Automatic knows he has to make a play on low HP. That's his third as he pushes in, and now he has to get an ace. The bomb's planted for him, and it's Exotic and Kusa, and they know where he is. At least, the more time he ticks by and he sits here, the more they may think he's gone CT or something similar. But now he lets his presence known. He sprays it up, lines it up. Exotic's on the bomb, and Kusa's holding his ankle. Oh, how does he do that? Finds a diffuser, and the last bullet, or if not close to it, catches Kusa.
Oh my god, that just happened, didn't it? Oh man, that just goes to show you, Cloud9, they got a bunch of playmakers, you never can count them out, and it's an ace for automatic, and to be fair though, there's some luck involved there, for 100% honest. I mean, he was definitely spamming through, he never even reloaded his AK, so he barely had any bullets left after his first initial spam on the bomb, and then they just happened to kind of line up for him, and he gets a couple of quick kills with his last few bullets, and man, oh man, Cloud9, they ripped that one out from underneath UFC. UFC should have definitely had that round, they were playing it really well. The entering for Cloud9 was not very good. They prioritized Sandwich, which gave Ethan some free frags from their balcony, and UFC were working with the man advantage all the way through, and then somehow, someway, Automatic still pulls it out. And now UFC are on a force buy. My goodness.
Jeez. Love him or hate him. Impressive, nonetheless. C9. We'll go back into this 1-3-1 default that we've been running a couple times right now. I thought my phone was ringing. Someone just Steam called me. I'm getting trolled. He's pushing up through connector. Will catch Kusta. It looks like he is content to just fall back. Stewie just going into a CZ here. Keep in mind, UFC invested all in here.
Yep.
And again, it's Cutler playing close towards connector. He got two in a similar situation before. Will he have the same fate? He catches Tarek. A dink actually onto Stewie, but it's automatic to save his life. As Ethan, unspotted in sandwich, it should get cleared here? No. Again, an overlook towards the sandwich position. But Rush, he likes PB&Js, so he will clear it. As Exotic is the last man standing with an op, catches Rush, a 1v2, doable. Has a flash to work with, but no kit, times his enemy.
And no armor either. So that's going to be aim punch being a huge problem if he even gets tagged up a little bit in the middle of a duel. It's also hard to save. I mean, if he backs off to try to go back towards CT spawn, I mean, there's T's right there who are going to be looking to catch him. But obviously saving the op would be huge because UFC has no money into the next round. So at least having this would give them something to work with. And it looks like he will backpedal. And it looks like Cloud9 won't be too eager to chase. So I guess he will be able to carry this over. But C9 will build up their lead to 6-2.
6-2. How about you? As UFC with 2-round loss, they don't go in on this off, I don't imagine. And
no,
Exotic got a good spawn. That's
yeah,
nice.
I mean, I think it might be worth... maybe he's small armors behind this, and I imagine some P250s come out, but they can't really afford to force around it. And in fact, he will just go glass cannon. They want to stay around that 2K range, make sure they get a nice full buy in the next round. Oh, the speed at which Cloud9's attacking, though, really catching Kusa trying to jump around. Exotic's still an underpass, though, at this op. They haven't realized that yet. He could still maybe kind of be a snake in the grass type character in this.
I don't even think they know he's underpass
yet.
yet.
Now they do, and he's dead.
Yeah. just holding for that connector push. Rix gets the op, gets the gift that's given to him, and will just peace out on his sled. This is going to be 7-2, but with 3-round loss. And if you can hang on to the op, it always helps. Oh,
that would be huge, yeah. They otherwise probably won't have an op next round unless he saves this one, so that would definitely be good. And the thing is, Cloud9 probably don't want to throw too many bodies after him, and their money's still not the best. They've been reset a couple of times. So they may just kind of look to sit back, let them have it, sure, make sure they get their money in order. And I mean, all in all, it's been still pretty dominant from Cloud9. I mean, really the only rounds that UFC have won is off of kind of a crazy save situation that they still wind up winning just due to like playing really good spots and Cloud9 being a bit sloppy. And then the other round they won was off the clock, right? So they really haven't had a convincing round win yet. This very easily could be 9-0 for Cloud9. I feel like Cloud9's beat themselves the 2 rounds they've lost.
A little overthinking.
Yeah, just couple little mishaps, really.
Darn silenced USPs. As Exotic will completely solo a site. As they get aggressive towards mid, Exotic. He's going to be able to find Tarek. So they push Catwalk, they'll trade. Actually, no trade, excuse me. They will find 2 clean opening picks. Kusta's on 4 HP for it, but he's not bothered. C9 get the plant. These post plants are going to be hard, because look at the utility still on the side of UFC.
Oh yeah, so much.
Well, C9 will use one of their 2 remaining smokes. The other one will go towards Sandwich, and this is a tricky situation for Skadoodle and Co. 2 players on their balcony. Rush will hang on to his Molly. He's just going to throw a front bench. Now he's kind of in a weird spot. Skadoodle's forced to play front default, not caught out and blind. It just Rush. 1v4, they know where he is, and smoked out. Look at that. That almost got terrifying. They lined up for him perfectly, as Rix will get the defuse. It came down to like the absolute last second. He gets one kill there. Maybe he pulls it out.
If Rush gets 1 kill there, the Cloud9 wins the round. Absolutely. Because it got a little bit tricky because even though UFC had the man advantage or 2-man advantage and they had a lot of utility to retake with, Cloud9 actually still had a lot of utility left in the post plant. So they would have kind of re-smoke spawn, re-smoke jungle. They even put a Molly behind the smoke at bench so no one could really push that smoke. They had to play from stairs and CT and wait things out. So it did come down to the wire a little bit on that retake, but UFC do get it done and they finally get, to me, their first convincing round victory. Like, they made a play on Cat, they aggressed, they caught Stewie, they played retake A, they played smart. And so that was a solid victory for them. But can they keep it going, or will they get reset again? They've invested into double op. They got one of those ops for free. I think they might have both of them for free. I think Kusta picked up Skadoodle's op, and Exotic already had one, so they actually didn't have to dip into this. But still, a reset would certainly hurt. And Automatic's already on the way to doing that, perhaps. But Ethan with the trade.
And Kusta with the op. Good flash, actually. Stops him pulling the trigger, but he is going to push on the site. And it's like Skadoodle immediately answers back, but it's just Tarek and Skadoodle. The bomb's going to go down, and Skadoodle has to cover. As there's one player flanking all the way around. It's Ethan. It'll be a little late, but they're going to give him time. Knowing they have kits, knowing they still have a ton of utility. And Tarek going to push up here. Will he catch Rix? Catches him jumping, but can't fully commit to that. Skadoodle will deal with Exotic. That one's Market. Market's cleared. That pressure's alleviated. But how ready are they going to be for Ethan? Skadoodle hears him, and Ethan's alone. Catches Tarek down to 1 HP. That Molly will seal the deal. It'll hit him. It's a hit. There's no animation for it. As Ethan, will he clear the corner? He will! Ethan, an impact in the chest, and cleans it up on Van. Not every day do you see that.
Oh,
and this
man.
is twice, actually.
He just
Last online cup, too, they did this.
Just pegged him with it. Wasn't even the fire that killed them. You rarely see that. You rarely see those 1 HP
rarely
kills.
See it so much. Yeah. There's no animation for it.
Yeah, there's nothing. That's crazy, man. I remember in Source and stuff, it used to just be like a giant flashbang icon that would just cover up the entire top of your screen if you picked someone with one. It was insane, but still so rare. And it actually won them the round is even what's more rare about it. Usually when something like that happens, it's just like this chance funny thing, but it doesn't really have impact on the round. That won them the round, actually, because I thought Skadoodle was playing that really well. Like, he didn't let the apartments flank catch on to him. He got a couple of kills with the op. He was looking like he was going to win that round for Cloud9. And then that happened.
C9 perhaps being a little upset with that is just a flat-out B hit. Good trades for UFC. As the nade will land on Skadoodle. Tarek has to be careful. Does he cross back bench? Does he stay towards the pillar? Exotic's just going to post up on it. There's the molly. Automatic's fighting back bench, and this is a bait for Rush. Will they check Rush's position? Kusta's first out. Kusta's eliminated. Tarek gets one of his own. It's Ethan. Can he bring it back again? It's a 1v1 against Tarek, and he wants revenge. No impact nades and play it as Tarek just peeks with the CZ and says no. You only get one. And that's the previous round. C9 8-4.
Yeah, because again, that's a little bit more trademark Cloud9, kind of featuring the same strength that the old optic with Tarek and Rush used to have, which is, you know, we have a lot of aggressive riflers, we have a lot of guys who do entry work. Let's just form a bond site with all those guys, and if one entry fragger goes down, guess what? We have 3 more to come in and do the exact same thing. It's kind of the meme when Tarek and Rush first joined that Cloud9 put on their webpage, was that very thing. Still came close, though. UFC battled back a little bit, but just couldn't finish it off, and now they have to take a full save. Saving for these last rounds of the half, and that's giving Cloud9 a chance to keep extending their lead with ease, as Kusa does bring down one, but it's still being mopped up by Cloud9 across the rest of the map.
Nothing Cutler and Kusa should be able to do in the situation. That molly forces Kusa up and into the ladder room. Takes a little bit of damage for it. He's just going to try to escape. The mask is dropped, but gets spotted. Down to 15. Stewie, in the meantime, has cleared out completely the B site. But Cloud9 are leaving the bomb. They want to hunt Kusa, who is spinning in a sweep. And will go down automatic. He knew his days were numbered. Z9 went away from double digits on their T side.
Indeed. Again, this was the pick of Cloud9, and they're probably one of the best Mirage teams in the world, so kind of an expected first half display. But UFC, we'll see if they can muster up a little bit of something here on these last couple of rounds on their CT side. They will have a decent buy into this round, including an op on Exotic, who's been pretty good this tournament. Young guy, I think he's 16. He was on the CLG Academy, so he's been kind of a name that maybe people have eyes on. As Kusta, he got stuck out there. Did not really get what he wanted. At least there was able to get one kill. But now C9 take mid control, and they have the man advantage.
Brooks has had pretty much no luck in ladder room. Either mollied or cleared, or his teammates just fall so quickly, there's not a lot of time or room for him to make a play. The Exotic is blind towards top connector. May catch Skadoodle. No, it's Tarek who holds his back, and Skadoodle hits one of those. Well, you take the shot because you think you're dead, and the next thing you know, you're still alive. So it was one of those lucky ones.
It's one of those things where all he could do was no scope and hope for the best, and it did work out. So there you have it. And then, like you said, Tarek had his back, caught that cat flank. That can always be the trickiest thing about attacking connectors, worrying about your backside to cat. That's like the most important threat you have to handle, either with utility or having an extra player with you to be able to cover that. And Cloud9 is able to manage to work through it. Now they're up 10-4. Again, another really rough buy here for UFC to end the half. And Cloud9 already getting some mid-control here. A couple of kills going UFC's way, however, and Cutler's still somehow alive. Not for long, I would imagine.
Mollied and then tapped as Exotic. The smoke completely bloomed perfectly, so he can't really see much of anything. And Stewie will just wait. Rex is hoping someone continues this push towards Cat. And C9 will just sit on the map control and trades they'll be content with. As that's not where the Exotic wanted that smoke to go. He wanted to go top connector to give a little bit of a fake. As Stewie's getting challenged. And Exotic won't check his corners. And it's just Rix, and he'll go down to Skadoodle. 11-4. Pretty comfortable is a good word for that half for C9.
Yeah. Indeed it was, but we'll be taking a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you the rest of the first map of the grand finals, so stay tuned.
My name is Trick2G, and I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel. Let's go!
Well, C9, no big surprise, will end at 11-4, but perhaps UFC will have something to say on their T side. Ethan coming up with a couple big clutches, Exotic finding some picks, but ultimately it just fell apart at the seams.
Yeah. Even of the 4 rounds that UFC won, 2 of those 4 were basically Cloud9 beating themselves. Like, one was off of, running out of time. The other off of just, losing to an eco. So, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot there from UFC. This very easily could be 13-2. Just having a rough time. Cloud9 typically really able to do whatever they wanted. Like, they did some slower defaults into mid control and just worked off of that. They did some faster paced executes and just brute forced away into bomb sites. There were a couple of rounds that were kind of close, so that came down to 1v1. So maybe you could even give credit to USC to saying maybe they could have won a couple of more rounds because of that. But at the end of the day, everyone on Cloud9 has at least 10 kills. And their top fragger has 16, so a pretty good frag distribution over there for C9. Meanwhile, just, a lot of players struggling over on the UFC side. No other way to shake it. Exotic, who's been really good throughout the tournament, has quieted down here in this game thus far. Granted, it's hard to really put up big numbers when you're kind of crumbling as a team as a whole, and your economy's, been pretty rough the whole way through, but it's time for new beginnings. It's pistol round. It's a chance to rewrite things. You get to start from scratch again.
You like making things from scratch?
Yeah, I like to cook from
like
scratch.
Like a Brady cake?
I like to cook. Not that particular item that you mentioned, but, just in general.
You know the song I'm talking about, right? It's very catchy.
No. I'm sorry.
Really?
I apologize. I feel like that was a good reference, and I just missed it.
Baking a Brady cake. Okay, well, that's okay. I could be butchering the name, but I think it was... whatever. Moving on swiftly.
Yeah, UFC's not moving swiftly, though. They've been taking their time in this pistol round, but now they're beginning to gather up. Looks like they're trying to get Kutsu to throw a little bit of a fake on A, smoke on stairs, couple of flashes into the A side, try to pull a rotation, and then they're going to try to hit B with 4 players. And so we'll have to see if Cloud9 falls for it or not. Do they over-rotate to A after they hear the utility of Kusta? Or do they hold their ground? And actually, now I'm kind of wondering if I'm wrong, because it seems like they're actually going to be hitting underpass into the A bomb site.
Automatic's about to be the man in
overwhelmed.
The hot seat. Word and knife out and gone. No bullets fired. He is deleted, and the push into the A site will commence. Rush. Now I'm going to push into the site. We'll take the fight with Kusta first, and taking some shots to the corner there. And Stewie, he's not scared. He'll push in. He'll take this fight towards triple, taking advantage of that smoke that was thrown from UFC. He pushes into default, but it's Exotic. They clean both of them up, and this pistol round surely is in the bag of UFC. Skadoodle. He'll save his armor, 650.
Yep. Well then, that's a good pistol round strat. I like that from UFC. Pretty crafty stuff. Essentially, they threw a smoke, like, right in front of stairs, so essentially that allowed them to really just fight in connector, and it didn't allow anyone from C9 towards 50 spawn or sight boxes or anything like that to get any, like, long-range battles with their USPs. UFC could use to cover the smoke to get up close inside the site and put those Glocks to use in close-range battles, which they won pretty much all of them. In fact, they did win all of them. No kills go out for Cloud9 there, so pretty dominant stuff. Again, it's you look at automatic, you're like, wow, you got your knife out. Like, it's probably not the time. Unlucky timing, I guess you could say, in that regard. But so many players are like that, man. Like, so many people just feel like they have, like, some crazy ADHD where they're just freaking, like, constantly switching guns and stuff, and it does hurt you sometimes.
A lot of operas are like that, right?
Just in general, I see people pulling out their knife and, doing crazy stuff. Usually they do it in safer positions, like what Rush just did there, where there's no chance you're going to get caught. But, I mean, if you're sitting inside connector, you don't have any information, you could get rushed at any moment, like, that's not the time. But I don't think it really mattered. I think USC were destined to win that round anyway, just off their setup. It was really good.
If you got it, flaunt it. Isn't that saying?
Yep. So if you have a knife, show it off. Is that kind of what you're going for?
I think that's just a light tip. But yeah, you can apply it to the knife. As UFC will just own this mid position. As Kusta will send Cutler up and over, hoping to make no noise as he jumps in, and he won't. perfectly lined up behind these C9 members too, all of which have the CZs. And Rush isn't spotted. They might not clear for him. He shoots at the first, able to get 2. Will he get the reload in time? No, that thing takes so damn long to put the other clip back in. And you know what? Rightfully so. Ladder room. It's been his home on CT side. Continues to be on T side. Catches Automatic, who certainly could have caught Exotic. Stewie from ramp, low HP, still finds him. So it's Rix and Cutler. The bomb is planted for the CT player, so Rix really has to... it's kind of planted for him. He might be able to get behind the box, but it is Rix alone now. He has to run up. It's open enough for him, as Tarek will be baiting Stewie here. The nade, just off the mark. Both going to be trying to push him. The spray. No, it's Stewie again with a CZ on 1 HP. No kit.
Do they have time?
Got it?
It's close. I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah. Did just get it. Sorry, my game volume is really low, so I actually couldn't hear the ticks. I wasn't 100% sure, but it seemed like it had been sitting there for a while. But yeah, Cloud9 does get it. Rush, a big part of that. Getting those couple of kills over towards Connector certainly was huge. I thought Rix did a good job catching a player on Cat. I thought that was going to make a difference, but turned out he still gets stuck in a 1v2 he just couldn't come up with. I feel like if he would have thrown his HE grenade earlier, like while they were still kind of sitting on the bomb, he may have gotten to a 1v1, but nonetheless, it is Cloud9 who push it to 12-5. They are the ones that are now fully decked out with rifles, utility, and head armor. A couple of kits. They're the ones sitting pretty right now. Unemployed for Christmas. They have 4 spot as much as they can here, which is kind of the typical pattern. Until someone wins 2 in a row, you kind of keep forcing back and forth. So no exception is US here looking to be really heavy out of Palace in this round.
First rush misses some critical shots, and Skadoodle only gets 1. That may come back to bite them.
Oh, and Stewie's in a lot of trouble too. The player right behind him.
Minus Kusta, plus the friend. That's what it's. That's what Kusta's P250 said. And Stewie will spin on him. Not spin, spin. The flash will land, of course, or the molly will land. Forced by the firebox and Automatic jumping up. Wanted to try to make the jump instead he spots, and it is just Exotic with a deagle. 1v3. Someone in chat said he's the world's best deagler. Not this round, as it's gonna go 13-5.
Yeah, pretty clean retake there from C9. Unemployed did get a bomb plant, but still not really enough money, I would think, to buy here, especially whenever you're probably wanting to play for the win. You don't want to be in a situation where you force up here, you lose, Cloud9 gets to 14, they get to 15 for free because you don't have any money, then you have to just play for overtime. It's definitely worth your wait to just kind of chill out here, not buy too much. They do buy a little bit, but they stay around that 2K range average, so making sure they still get a nice full buy in the next round, which will basically be their last shot. They'll only get one real good buy here to try to see if they can't make this comeback a reality before it's, you know, just going to be too difficult, as they're going to go for a real fast B play with these pistols.
Kusta blinds everyone on his team. And he's actually just going to sit. He's stuck. He tried to get out, but he was completely stuck on the door frame. As Tarek, an easy 3K for him, but Cutler's deagles are showing up, and Exotic he show it off a little bit. As he's able to get the first nose. There's another one player close, but the nades from Skadoodle seals.
I mean, he ate that grenade. That grenade landed in his mouth.
What flavor grenade would you like?
How about, I mean, I feel like no matter what flavor the grenade is, if it explodes, it's still not worth.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair answer. Kind of outfunking me there, didn't you?
So, yeah, I mean, it just kind of stinks that your one way to win that round is that pop flash working and you kind of just swarming and getting and overwhelming people with pistols, but then the team flash happens instead and no one is even able to get out apartments. But now they're on to the full buy, and again, this is basically last chance for them to try to make something happen here on Mirage. They're going for some mid-control.
Tark is cheeky. He's had that smoke forever, and now he's going to push. He gets one in the tank, and it's Skadoodle to clean it up. Stewie doing his own little janitorial work as he peeks underpass and finds a frag against Ethan and Kusta. I mean, that is just, that's hard to swallow.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Ethan will try to make a play, but it's too easy to just peek him. He doesn't care. Flash in, peek on it, full trust in the teammate CT, and it leaves Kutsa a little dazed and confused, although he will find a Stewie. And he has the bomb, so he's gonna be able to get up towards Cat. Automatic will hear this. He pushed all the way out B abs. It depends if C9 really want to face him.
Just want to keep him contained, really. I mean, Illy's on cat now, so Rush will make sure he can't come up connector or escape mid. Skadoodle has CT spawn on lock, so he can't get through window room into CT. And they have a player sitting over towards B, making sure that he can't get up cat. So, I mean, they have all their bases covered.
All the bases covered, but can Kusa steal one? He'll slowly push up behind the smoke. On 20 seconds, he can't get the drop on automatic. 15. Cloud9, 10 rounds in a row is what's required from UFC. That's a lot of match points.
Indeed it is. A lot of chances for Cloud9 to win in regulation here. It would take an absolute collapse to see an overtime at this point. But we'll see what UFC can do. I mean, that's just one of those things where what can you do? I mean, you go for mid control and you lose every fight there. You know, you basically have, you know, Tarek pushing up, kills you. A good flash comes in at top mid, so you can't even trade Tarek properly. Then Skadoodle's waiting there with an op. There's no more smoke in window, so he's getting free reign. And then you have Stewie doing Stewie things in underpass. So they just didn't even get started in that round.
Skadoodle trying to pop some shots for the smoke. No one connect. Stewie will hold the connector. Yeah, it's automatic. The smoke pops to cover off. That was automatic smoke, I believe, be true. Stop that push from the T's on towards his position. Had a little crossfire with Stewie. He is just now going to hold his palace position. And again, it's Skadoodle to shuffle back and hold murder hole. They don't want to play anyone in window. High probability of getting caught out there, especially if they do a quick play. Those bullets are nearly off the mark from landing on towards Stewie. And Tarek will be the first to fall. He peeks catwalk. But perhaps they think that's the catwalk player. He's automatically hang around in ladder room. He'll get one. Stewie will falter and fall as Ethan's looking for this headshot onto automatic. He's dancing, dodging, and ducking. As Skadoodle simply going to peek mid. He escaped up catwalk, but he finds a player connector. Out to the deagle, finds Rix. And it's Kusta alone all of a sudden. With 40 seconds... Skadoodle knows the bomb's down catwalk. He spotted it as he killed that player. And Kusa has a flash. He needs to get a 3K. Vice versa for Skadoodle. It's going to be a pretty big timing thing. Did he spot gun barrel? Kusta misses and Skadoodle takes advantage. 16-5 summarizes the game, I think, quite well.
Yeah, there's really not too much to add to that. Just a very from Cloud9. It couldn't have been even more dominant if it wasn't for a couple of mistakes from C9 in the first half. And so, yeah, just pretty much as one-sided as it gets. Everyone from Cloud9 playing really well. UFC really unable to get much going, all things considered.
Again.
Yep.
20-8.
Yeah, definitely has played pretty well, and just in general, kind of the expected result, right? I mean, we're playing Mirage. It's C9 versus a mixed team. You know, C9 being one of the more dominant teams in the region, certainly one of the favorites before the tournament even started. No one really on the same level of C9 in this tournament lineup. And so just kind of what you expected to see happen, really. Obviously, it'd be a cool storyline if USC was able to pull it off an upset on Mirage or something crazy like that. That obviously would be pretty hype, but it just doesn't happen. C9 are here to strike reality back into everyone who had those hopes. And they will be 1-0 up in the series as they will be moving on to Inferno, which is the pick of UFC. Where we'll see if maybe they can pull up a little bit of a fight, see if they can't have a closer score line there, maybe even force a third map. Who knows? But as of now, the favorites are looking good to win the whole thing.
Who knows is the question, but we do know what's coming up next, and it's going to be a quick ad break. Also, before the ad break, I'm going to remind you guys about the giveaway. Predictions aside, because it's locked, no more predictions. The giveaway only is what I'm going to plug. Get a chance to win some cool stuff for watching. Couple clicks, couple tweets, couple likes, couple follows. And next thing you know, you might be getting something out of this weekend of watching some Counter-Strike. But we'll be right back after that break. C9, UFC, Inferno, Map 2. Hang on.